welcome back to another video. I'm so happy that you're back with me. I'm just in a new setting, having to change places because I think that it's really the best idea to do so. I like to explore kind of how I can probably see where my video works best and try to do it more in nature since we're more connected that way. And yeah, let's dive into this week's video. How can we focus inwards instead of looking outside of us for answers? And there were many times, like even just sitting here feels quite weird because, you know, there's like people passing by maybe and they're probably wondering what the heck am I doing here with a camera, and that what I'm talking about. Plus I don't really have my mic right now on me, so it's gonna be a bit of me checking in to see my audio is working well. So I wanted to quick check in and see and really ask you guys what it really feels like to step into yourself. What does it feel like to ask yourself what is it that you want, what really inspires you, what lights you up? And sometimes these answers come, they're quite vague, you know, depends on where you are in life, how far you've developed in your journey, and what how you really see yourself and the world. So there were, you know, there's multiple things that quite helped me go inwards, and it was not just through the practice of yoga, but many things that I talk about and that I share is that the more we are going inwards and asking ourselves what is important to us, and really diving deep, you know, by asking questions and reflecting on what is important. Now I know that there are probably many times where we maybe have done something and we weren't so proud of it. Maybe we've done something and we maybe blamed someone for it not working out, and in those moments, in those transitions, we often look outside of us, someone to kind of blame, someone to kind of show, someone to kind of take us inwards. But it's really not up to the people or anybody beside you knowing what path you want to pursue. And it's okay to change. It's okay to know that, you know, your path will change and where you are in life will change, and whatever it is that you're going through, it's going to be different. It's not going to be similar to everybody. So in comparing yourself with someone and really looking outside of you for someone to tell you what is right for you, when you know that the answers are actually coming from within. So just to take you a bit like of a timeline, is that no amount of validation, no amount of people perceiving you a certain way is going to change your life. Now there are certain moments in life where I had to transition from that, where I had to really kind of sit down and ask myself, was that really important to me? Was their validation and approval more important than what I feel and think about myself? If none of that mattered, then what is stopping me from quite literally just accepting that this is the person I want to become? And you don't know that when you don't go inwards. You don't find those answers if you don't ask these questions. So throughout the years, it wasn't just the journaling that really helped me or writing, but meditation has, you know, quite literally transformed my life from being someone who's stuck in fight or flight, caring what people think, their judgments. And also it was so difficult to be present with myself because, you know, I just realized like I wasn't really putting myself first, and it was always about others. And I was quite losing myself in that transition. I was losing the things that I was truly passionate about. I was losing a lot of things in my life that I thought were truly valuable, but because I was shedding away slowly what was almost something that I truly believed in. But in years of, you know, growing and learning about myself, I discovered that I actually didn't, and that I truly cared about what people thought because I didn't trust myself, I didn't listen to myself. And then through that moments of transition, you know, through yoga and a lot of things, yoga and meditation, I knew that it wasn't just one path that I had to choose. It wasn't just that I lean into something and that gave me everything. I think it came in chunks where there was one thing that led to the other, one thing that led to the other. And the deeper I went, the deeper the questions were, the deeper the understandings were, the deeper the lessons. And there were also parts where I didn't want to accept and see. And if you are transitioning through that journey, and if you're going through that, who am I, what am I becoming, part of remembering who you are is not only sitting with yourself and reflecting and having moments to yourself, but it's really in trusting yourself. I think a big part of that is actually trust. How do we lean and trust ourselves to figure out what the next steps are in our life? And you know, if we are scared to ask ourselves these questions, you can start small. You can start with what maybe lights me up, what brings me to life, what am I truly looking forward to, how can I maybe foster that knowledge, how can I encourage myself to move forward without these limitations that come. Because we all have certain beliefs that, you know, are certainly recognized when we are in life, when we are experiencing life, when we are around people. And I always like to share those truth moments because I think that is more valuable than us kind of sugarcoating what's actually going on. And I learned that through discipline, through yoga, and really connecting to what's deeper, connecting to what is important, connecting to something that is important to you. So if I tell you to list out the things that are important to you, you'd probably say a lot of things. And I need you to hold on to that. I need you to ask, why is it important to you? What is your deeper why? Why is it that it matters how many likes you get, or how much approval, or how many people you have around you? Would it be enough if you had that towards yourself? Would it be enough if you only trusted yourself to figure out the path? Would it be enough if the only thing that you are looking forward to is understanding yourself? So you don't need to prove that you are into this journey. You don't need to prove that you're doing good. You don't need to prove that you're successful. You don't need to prove any of that, but to really master the truth of becoming. What does becoming feel like to you? What is transition is like? What transition is like for you? And how can you be in the receiver mode of that? Because if we're not receiving, if we find it difficult to receive, and we're only giving our energy away to people, to things that are not quite important to us. That, for example, when I say that I love video gaming, I love playing games, right? That is not truly authentic to me. So why would I say it when I'm with people? Is it to please the crowd? Is it to wanting to fit in? Is it, what is kind of my version of it? What is my version of I love video games, but in my own way? So I love yoga, and that's authentic to me. I know it's authentic. So similar things in our life and in our relationships, that we must explore what that feels like to us, what is important to us in our relationship. And I don't want to go far ahead with different topics, because I feel like today was this video was all about that. It's all about transitioning into that. It's all about listening into that thing that we are striving towards, we're passionate about, but we cannot truly put a point on it because we're not familiar with it. We're scared to explore that because it's not, it's not familiar to us. And maybe a part of also knowing yourself is that you would need to drop everything that wasn't you, everything that you thought is going to give you liberation and excitement and joy, but in return you're getting all those setbacks and challenges and people telling you, hey, like, you've changed, or you become someone totally opposite than who I've known you to be. That's a good sign that you're changing. So do not change because someone is telling you that you're different or that they don't like the way that you are. Because certainly they don't like it for a reason, but it doesn't mean that you need to change that to pursue the path that you want, or to be in that relationship that you want. And it's really about transforming that. And it took me years to actually get to this understanding and this truth of, nobody else really, quite literally cares about what you do. Like, it's really in our mind that we make up those things, and we are missing our life through thinking about people and who they are and what they care about. And we don't often ask ourselves what is important to us and why is it important. Why is it that I'm doing the things I'm doing? Is it giving me an X amount of goal? Is it giving me a reason to live? Is it giving me a sense of alignment to my purpose? There's multiple things that we are really not looking at from our perspective, because to someone else that's freaking creepy, or that's freaking it's not aligned, it's weird, and all those yappy things about what is important. But I truly believe in that transformation. I truly believe that if we are sitting with ourselves and reflecting enough what is important to us, then we are connected to something deeper, which is that of our source, or our higher knowing, our intuition. And let me know in the comments if this is resonating. Let me know if all of this is making sense to you, because it definitely does make sense to me when I speak about it. It makes sense to a lot of people who are in this journey of, who am I becoming? I'm scared to be this person, or I'm scared to look this way. And we end up just having false hope of everything we're doing, and we're doubting everything. But leaning into that trust had led me to exploring who I can be, exploring limitations, and being mindful of the decisions I'm making, and asking if it's aligned or if it's not. Is it truth? Is it not? Is it important? Is it not? Do I see value in this, in what I'm putting in? Do I see truth? And yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope this was a bit enlightening, or this was a bit of a push that whatever you're striving towards is going to lead you somewhere. And it's trusting ourselves. And part of being a woman and an experiencer of this life is you get to shut away what isn't important, and you get to shut away what doesn't is not of value to you anymore. Maybe a few years ago it was, but now what is important for you is feeling peace within yourself, is aligning yourself with your truth, is trusting your own path, is listening to that voice that which is calling you, and enjoying bits and pieces of life. If one thing doesn't work out, it's probably leading you to something that is more aligned with your path. So this is just a reminder, and it really came out naturally that I wanted to share this with you, because I know that many of you will resonate. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments what kind of content or topics you want me to cover. I'm more than happy to do that, and I will catch you in the next video.